Greetings viewers, EricTheCarGuy here. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm excited because I'm going to try something I've never done before in today's video, and I'm hoping you're entertained by that and educated as well, because that's kind of what I do here, or what I hope to do here. What I'm looking to do today is, you may remember not too long ago I replaced the clutch on a 2004 S2000. Well, when I did that clutch, the owner replaced the flywheel and gave me his old flywheel. I asked him if he could have it, and he said yes. And I'm going to take that flywheel today and use my Ranger brake lathe to recondition it, just to see how, if you can recondition it with a brake lathe. But I'm not going to use the brake lathe like you think I'm going to use the brake lathe. Oh no. I was watching the internet and I saw somebody, start up an engine and run it without the transmission attached, and they machined the flywheel while the engine was running. And I thought, man, that seems cool, but super dangerous. I got a brake lathe. Maybe I could do the same thing with a brake lathe and not have to worry about running an engine and breathing exhaust fumes and all that kind of thing. Why don't we try that in today's video? Keep watching. This will be my first time using the new brake lathe that I got from Ranger/Benpack. It's the RL8500. It machines both rotors, which is what it's set up to do now, and it also is able to machine drums as well. So you can machine drums and rotors. Additionally, you can actually machine flywheels with this machine. And what you do is you hook the flywheel up and onto here, and then instead of using the disc brake lathe attachment, you use the drum brake attachment, but you use it like the disc brake, so it comes out this way, and you can machine the flywheel with this brake lathe. We're not doing that today. We're trying something a little crazy. I think the real takeaway for you, since I doubt any of you even have seen a brake lathe recently, so I don't think this part of it is going to be useful to you so much, but just know that if you're able to spin it. Now, I don't recommend spinning a flywheel on the back of an engine while it's running, but if you can spin it, I think you can do what I'm about to show you, and I think the flywheel is going to turn out great. But before I use my brake lathe for the first time, there is one very important thing I need to do, and that's add lubrication. And to do that, there is a filler back here on the back. There's a sight glass here on the front. I'm going to fill it up with some 80W90. Actually, it's not 80W90. It's something close to that. I'm going to be using 75W90 instead of the 8090. 8090 is what it calls for, but I think this will be just fine. Gear oil is what they're looking for, and what we're looking to do is fill it up until it's 3/4 of the way up this sight glass. So most of the way full up this sight glass, and it will be filled. Additionally, there is a Zerk fitting over here that we'll shoot a little bit of grease into just for good measure, but that's the other service port on this machine. I'm going to turn this on for the very first time, and you're going to be here to witness it. Haha! That's pretty great. I'm just going to work it back and forth a little bit. Make sure the lubrication is run through it. I'm going to start with some preparation on the flywheel. There's still some dust and things on here that I want to get rid of. I'm going to use a little bit of brake cleaner for that. Just sort of hold it over my trash can. And next, I will knock out the pilot bearing. I'm going to use a hammer. You want to replace this whenever you're doing a clutch anyway, so you need to remove that. Is this next part necessary? That's a very good question. Maybe, maybe not. I used to actually machine flywheels with a legitimate flywheel grinder, and this was the procedure. First thing I would do, obviously remove the pilot bearing, but then I would remove the dowels for the pressure plate. And the way I would do that, I have here a dowel puller set, and it looks like this. So what you do is you find the correct size bit that fits on these, and I'm going to guess it's 6 or 7 millimeter. 6. So that is going to be my 6 millimeter. I've never used this tool before either, but I knew I was going to be doing this someday. I believe I have figured this tool out. The tool that I used before, when I did this with flywheels, was a slide hammer. And I was looking at this like a slide hammer. It is not a slide hammer. It is a puller. So this is how you install the tool. You find the correct size, which is one that fits over like that. You can see how this end is a little tapered, like so. It goes on like that. Then you want that to fit snug. Tighten this down like this. And as you tighten this, this is going to pinch down on here. run it down enough to get a grip on the dowel pin. Now, that guy sits on there. And I imagine a washer. And then this. And we just, I don't recommend an impact for this. In fact, I'm gonna go get a ratchet. And it was unsuccessful. And I imagine in part, this is why I like the slide hammer bit, is because when this thing was sitting on here, it sits at an angle because of the edge of this piece here. See that gap there that's created by this ridge? So when I go to pull, this whole thing goes over to one side rather than pulling straight. So I'm gonna see, well, maybe this washer will be just enough to like sit in there and get that thing to sit somewhat flush. Hopefully it'll pull out correctly. Failed again. Frankly, this is not uncommon, even with the slide hammer version, to like go at this more than once. Okay. Start by over tightening. Haha, success. There it is. Our dowel pin removed. Tightening the living snot out of this was the key. We got two more. The key seems to be, and I remember this now, like your grip in the beginning. And that makes 3. Now we can begin. Did we need to take the dowel pins off? Maybe not. I feel better with them off with what we're about to do. I don't have a chance to like nick them, mess them up or anything like that. I believe, yeah, there are only certain holes that they'll go into, so I don't believe you have to worry about messing them up because every other hole is threaded. The non-threaded holes are what the pins go into. Now let's get this mounted to the brake lathe. This spin straight. Oh yeah. And now for the fun part. Have you figured it out yet? Yeah, that's right. I'm just gonna run this grinder on here while it's spinning on the brake lathe. And I'm hoping, well, that's gonna be sufficient. And you're gonna get to see if it is. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna get my face shield just in case. Now we're ready. A couple other spots there. A little bit more. As for what I used, it was a brand new flappy paddle. That's what I used to do that. The dowel pins will go back in a lot easier than they came out. And quite simply, they just... That's a result, right? Eric, I know it looks impressive, but how straight and true is that flywheel? Well, that's a great question, viewer. I have a 0.002 or 0.051 millimeter feeler gauge here. Pretty darn thin. So we'll just see if we can get it under any spots. Oh, wait, was that one? So yeah, there is a little bit of an area in here. So is it perfect? No. Oh, there it is. So just a little bit right there. I'd ship it, but there you go. I think it looks really good. In fact, I think I'm going to find myself a pilot bearing and put it in the back of this and put this thing on Marketplace, because I don't have an S2000 and it's just going to sit around otherwise. But at proof of concept, you can machine a flywheel with a grinder and a brake lathe. Away you go. Again, you could. There are instructions on how to machine flywheels with this brake lathe and using the actual brake lathe part of it. The hardest part was always getting those dowel pins out. I think it's better if you do get them out, because, well, there might not be much dowel pin left if you sort of miss with your grinder. I don't know. But I recommend doing it this way with the engine running on the back of the car. But the proof of concept, you can machine a flywheel with a grinder, so there you go. You're welcome. I will put a link in the description to my dowel pin puller along with my brake lathe and anything else that might pertain to this video that you might find useful. So please check the description for that additional information. Also a link to EricTheCarGuy.com that covers automotive questions that I did not cover in this video. I want to remind you to be safe, have fun, stay dirty, and I will see you on the next video. See you then.